This dude is rad as hell. I mean, my guy has it down to the fashionable look, to the fun moveset to dodge, the nuke. I mean, Fulgore here has had a lot of love poured into him, with this guy being my favorite boss in Nightreign. And the director of Nightreign, Junya Ishizaki, put a lot of care into him as well, which is surprising to say. Recently, I read this article by CNT where they interviewed Ishizaki himself, and he mentions that upon being asked what his least favorite boss is, he chooses Fulgore, with him saying,
As for my least favorite boss fight, obviously I love all boss fights equally. The one I have most trouble with is Fulgore, sort of a centaur type character missing one arm. That one really requires me to keep on my toes and keep focused. That's a tricky one for me.
So, what gives? Why do I love this guy so much but the director is struggling against him? Well, it's because he does one thing that most recent bosses struggle with. This term is to be used sparingly on bosses that can give you a fun challenge and look sick while doing it. Slave Knight Gale from Dark Souls 3, for example, when he does his slam attack, he starts off with an overhead, he then jumps in the air shooting his rapid fire crossbow, finally ending it off with another slam, which also leaves him open for a counterattack. That's cool as hell, but also feels very fun to dodge. And I feel like Elden Ring has a problem where a boss can be stylish, but too much style and... Now, the reason being stylish matters when it comes to these bosses is because 90% of the time you are either fighting gods or god slayers. Yet it seems everything falls short. For every cool Midra attack, he staggers so you don't get enough time to appreciate him. For every cool Millennia beautiful dodge sequence, there's a waterfowl dance to ruin your run. And for every lore buildup of Mateer, you get... Mateer. That's it, that's the whole joke. That's not to say Elden Ring doesn't have fun but cool bosses. 3 that come to mind are actually Mohg, Mesmer, and Bale. Each, yes, still having problems, but still being fair and looking cool as hell while doing it. And it feels like Fulgore is the boss that has been able to capture that feeling I've been missing since DS3. Right out of the gate, you notice that this guy fucks in the hard way. To the untrained eye, it seems like he is relentless, throwing out powerful hits that can wipe your team. But look a little closer and you can notice cracks in his offense. And here is where that fair aspect gets put into use, giving you very nice windows for you to attack, but not making it so long that the boss feels slow. Even his weakness mechanic is sick because it allows for a unique break animation that has a mix-up where he'll either just be staggered, or he could do a weaker version of his Pillars of Light, meaning the stagger isn't always free. I learned recently from making this video, you don't even need lightning to break his guard because his poise is lowered in the stance. So just as long as you... Ah, fuck. Despite everything I said, Fulgore can still have his problems. Example... Why don't we have any lightning encampments? I know you don't need lightning weapons, but it does make dealing with this Pillars of Light attack a lot easier. Especially since this attack is really good at hitting you off screen or just downright frame trapping you. Making staggering him out of it very useful. But the real problem most people have is in his second phase. More or less because there's a problem of just understanding what he's doing with his new arm. This Gundyr aesthetic he brings can give me personally some trouble with differentiating certain attacks, but honestly nowadays it's actually been fun to fight. Especially since you can jump his slam moves, which add that Elden Ring flair that makes his flow better in my opinion. But Junya Ishizaki wasn't done with him yet. June 17th, bosses started to get enhanced, more difficult iterations of themselves, called Ever Dark Sovereign. And among the batch of bosses being picked, Fulgore was chosen to show himself off one last time. He starts out in his second phase, already making the fight more difficult, with him throwing sludge everywhere to get you off him, and slam attacks still as fun as ever to dodge as they were in his first encounter. As the fight goes on and damage you do starts to add up, he pulls out his all or nothing card. He starts by dashing away as he cuts off his vile arm as if it were a hindrance to him. Upon this happening, he begins ascending with golden radiance following him, with his true final form making an appearance. The remnants of his once was abyssal arm starts to take a new, pure form, and the rays of holy light blessing him with a new power, ready to strike any Nightfarers in his way. He has truly become perfect. He has truly become stylish, yet fair!